We think the business cycle peaks sometime in end of 2025. And that would suggest a crazy sort of target that could get somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million in Bitcoin. Do I expect that? Probably not, but who the hell knows, right? These cycles can be crazy, and this one feels more like the 16-17 cycle than it does the prior cycle. And that cycle didn't have a lot of central bank printing. Well, not in the US, but central bank balance sheets were rising. We saw 20% growth and what happened of liquidity, and what happened was crypto absolutely exploded.
Raoul, the founder and CEO of Real Vision, has unveiled some bold price predictions for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and the entire cryptocurrency industry during the anticipated 2024 and 2025 bull market. As we approach what many foresee as potentially the most significant Bitcoin and crypto bull market in history, the former Goldman Sachs executive shared a compelling analysis highlighting the profound correlation between crypto technology and macroeconomic trends. Powell envisions the upcoming 2024 and 2025 bull market as exceptionally unique for the crypto space, given the convergence of various bullish factors. Drawing on his expertise, the Real Vision CEO anticipates a substantial surge in crypto asset prices. Specifically, he foresees Bitcoin reaching staggering heights, surpassing $200,000 per coin in May and potentially soaring to $1 million per coin before the conclusion of the bull market. Powell grounds his predictions in the aftermath of the 2008 global economic reset, where major economies grappled with stagnant or declining demographic and productivity growth, coupled with escalating debts. According to Powell, central banks responded by absorbing these debts onto their balance sheets and resorting to periodic money printing to sustain fragile economies. However, he contends that this strategy has led to a point of no return, requiring continuous liquidity injections to maintain economic equilibrium.
I care about secular trends. Secular cycles, when you get them and capture them in the right point of the business cycle, become explosive. Remember that chart of the Nasdaq, the beach ball underwater exploding above the water because the Fed just took the foot off the gas pedal, or the brake, sorry? That's the power of a secular trend. It outperforms any other trend, and it's more calibrated to financial conditions. It's more juiced by the business cycle than anything else. These are the things that matter to me. And there's two massive secular trends that dwarf all others. Crypto. Here's the chart, the long-term chart of Bitcoin since 2013. Some people use this chart longer term. I used to. But the early cycle was so kind of ridiculous that it screws up the chart. Other than that, it's actually a perfect log trend. These cycles can be crazy, and this one feels more like the 16-17 cycle than it does the prior cycle. And that cycle didn't have a lot of central bank printing. Well, not in the US, but central bank balance sheets were rising. We saw 20% growth, and what happened of liquidity, and what happened was crypto absolutely exploded. I kind of feel like that's the case. I don't focus on the end target. I focus on the structure. But I'm just showing you the magnitude of the opportunity, and we're still at one standard deviation oversold. It's all to play for. We've barely started. Nasdaq, another beautiful logarithmic trend. I mean, this is a killer. That's all you need to know. Is the world going to be more digital tomorrow than it is today? Yes. Will it be more digital in 2 years' time than it is today? Yes. Will technology reach more adoption in the coming 2 years? Yes or no? Yes. I ran that poll on Twitter. 95% of people agree with me. Yet most people keep missing this trend. They don't want to believe it. It's expensive. I think it's a bubble. Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, best fucking trend you've ever seen. So just capture the trend. It suggests the Nasdaq somewhere between 25 and 30,000 at the end of this cycle. That's another great set of returns. So those are the two mega trends. How do they compare? Well, simply put, going back to 1990, kind of the dawn of the internet and computing ages, the Nasdaq has just relentlessly outperformed. All of the noise you see on Twitter, mean reverting, the Nasdaq's expensive, blah, 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 blah. It is the biggest trend you've ever been given. And many of us in macro land didn't see this. We kept fighting it because of what happened in 2000, the bubble and bust. But that, as you can see, was extraordinary. The rest, super smooth. It's the same log trend. and I don't see that changing. Could we create another bubble based on AI and the exponential age? Sure. Let's make some bloody money from it, as George Soros would say. But I don't see any element of a bubble. It's just a normal trend that eats all other equity sectors alive. There is no point owning other stocks. Every other bet is suboptimal in this world where everything is correlated.
According to Powell, the Nasdaq has consistently outperformed the S&P index by 5% annually since 1990, showcasing even more impressive performance in recent years. In comparison, it has surpassed and significantly exceeded the S&P 500 index by over 100% per year. Similarly, Bitcoin has been a formidable performer, outshining the S&P and maintaining nearly 100% annual outperformance since 2013. Powell asserts that both crypto and tech represent secular trends that align seamlessly with the business and macro cycles. While he expresses bullish sentiments for both, he underscores crypto as the fastest horse in the race, noting that, despite being essentially the same bet, the risk-adjusted returns in crypto far surpass those of other assets, despite its higher volatility. As Powell delves deeper into his video, he explores the profound correlation between crypto technology, stocks, global liquidity, and business cycles, emphasizing the intricate connections that underscore the potential of these markets.
About the fact that the ISM is a repeating cycle since 2008 because of the debt refi cycle. So future ISM looks like past ISM inverted. So it suggests that we keep going into 2025, the end of 2025, which I've shown you a number of different formats. And with that goes liquidity. I showed charts earlier how liquidity and ISM all go hand in hand. There's the chart of global liquidity, and the Nasdaq just keeps going up. What a beautiful chart. That's the trend we're trading here. It's easy. Same with Bitcoin. The reason the Bitcoin correlation is actually lower than the Nasdaq is because of these super spikes on the upside, because it's so skewed to the right tail, which is amazing. So now when we put this all together, we can actually forecast using a number of proprietary things we use at GMI out into the future. Please do not expect this to be a crystal ball. Do not expect these exact targets. It's directionally going to give you an idea of what the next 2 years look like. It gives you that target that we talked about before of about 21,500 in the Nasdaq by May or June of next year. With Bitcoin, it gets even more interesting. You see, that gives us a kind of extraordinary set of numbers, which make me think that these are overstating it. So I'm just going to assume that we'd halve these. Maybe they're right. I don't know. We'll have to see. The everything code is new. Yes, it's worked in the past, but who knows? Because it gives us crazy numbers like 218,000 by May. That's post-halving, post-ETF. It would give you a target of $500,000 by 2026, which is in line with the log trend. So it's possible. It doesn't feel like the most probable outcome. It feels a bit ludicrous to me. But anyway, directionally, half the numbers. Assume Raoul is a total moron, which certainly my wife would do. Then you still get great numbers. So it's all to play for. And that makes me interested. Now, Bitcoin's actually not the horse I'm going to back in this race. Crypto is the horse I back the most. It's the fastest horse in the race, best risk-adjusted returns, high correlations to this global liquidity index, which is our everything code. So we know how the asset price behaves, which gives us a competitive advantage when we use our proprietary frameworks. Beautiful chart here, Fed net liquidity and Ethereum. Bitcoin has actually outperformed Fed net liquidity, the beach ball underwater. Why? Because of the narrative around the ETF. In macro crypto spring, Bitcoin always outperforms, much like in macro spring, treasuries tend to outperform credit. Later, when we move to macro summer, alts, ETH first, Solana, others will start to massively outperform Bitcoin, much like junk bonds outperform treasuries. So ETH is just doing what it's supposed to be doing, but it's not giving us the big surprise. I think that surprise comes the moment the ETF is out in Bitcoin and people will focus on the ETH ETF and it'll bring the ETH ecosystem alive. This year, it's been a story of Solana, which I've been along all year, and Bitcoin. That barbell has been the best trade in the world. Or in fact, just owning Solana has been the best trade in the world, bar none. But ETH, it'll play catch up. It'll do well.
Raoul Pal is not alone in making bold predictions for Bitcoin in 2024. In a recent interview with Coinbureau, venture capitalist Tim Draper also foresees significant growth, predicting that the leading cryptocurrency will reach at least $250,000 per coin by 2024. Draper explained that he had initially made this prediction when Bitcoin was trading at just $4,000 per coin. However, he acknowledged that regulatory challenges have posed obstacles to the realization of his forecast. Reflecting on the stifling regulatory environment, Draper expressed surprise at the cautious and traditional approach taken by the U.S., contrasting it with the more open-minded conversations he has had with officials in El Salvador. Despite the delays caused by regulatory hurdles, Draper remains optimistic, stating that his $250,000 target might be achieved sooner than expected, possibly within the current year. The divergence in regulatory approaches between the U.S. and other countries has influenced the pace of Bitcoin's growth, according to Draper. He invites discussion on these predictions, prompting viewers to share their thoughts and observations regarding both Powell and Draper's forecasts for Bitcoin in 2024 and 2025 in the comments section below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.